Hey guys, Matt here. So normally I post my portfolio updates on the weekends. Well, nowadays I do. And that's just to give a consistent metric as to how my portfolio is doing, both my profits and losses. But I took such a beating today, and as a matter of fact, such a beating this whole week, that I couldn't just not make a video about this. Like here on Stock Overflow, I like to show my wins and my losses just to show you that I'm human. I make, I win some, I lose some. And today, I lost some. We are down $724, down 1.31%. Now, if you watched my portfolio update last week, I was pushing 41% gains, around $14,000, $15,000 worth of gains, and we've taken quite a bit of a hit. Like, for example, Gevo, you will note that I was up 30% on Gevo. And I think I was either just barely positive or maybe slightly negative on Hyliion. I can't remember. But things have changed. Now, I did add... Now, I don't know if I mentioned this on my YouTube video or on my Instagram channel, but I wanted to add more to my Gevo position, and I didn't want to be greedy. So what I did is I said that once the price dropped to $7.50, because the price was pushing $8, $9 when I said that, I would start adding my position, and I would keep adding as the price kept dropping. Well, guess what? As soon as I broke and I added my position at $7.50, the price kept dropping. So sorry about that, guys. And yeah, and Hyliion, well, you see where we are. It went from I think negative 30% to positive 5 to 7% gains. And now we're back to 8.3% loss. So the stock market is really, really interesting this week. I can say that much. One of my highest positions, Revolve. I think last week I was talking about how I 5x my stocks, and now we are down to just, it's still a 4x, an easy 4x, but it's not as good. It's not as good as it was. And Tapestry, we are hovering down to almost below 3xing. Now, that's still pretty good, but that's not as good as it was. And then we got my newest position, Walgreens, which I bought for a value/dividend play with some growth potential down the line. We are coming in strong at negative 1.08%. Now, that's good news as far as my portfolio is concerned, because that means I can continue adding shares. And that's what I did this week. I spent about $250 adding more shares to this, and I will continue doing so as long as the price keeps dropping. And this right here is on well, I guess you can call it an up day, kind of. Like, we took a beating yesterday as far as the Dow, the Nasdaq, the S&P 500. We took a beating, but today was an up day as far as a 500 and a Dow 30 is concerned. Nasdaq is relatively flat, but as far as retail stocks, the stocks that YouTubers make videos on, like, those have been down across the board. Like, the Russell 2000 is down, and you can consider that, as an indication of, less than large cap stocks, so smaller cap stocks. Like, we're down across the board. And I want to, the reason I make this video now, other than to show my losses, is to talk about what I usually do during days like these, during, moments where my stocks are crashing, especially, stocks I put a lot of shares into. Now, during days like these, or weeks like these, when, I see a stock I own go down quite a bit, such as Gevo, Hyliion, and right now Revolve, is first of all, I take a look at the trends. So right now we got Gevo, and I just use, the Google stock chart. It's enough for me. So Gevo, as far as the month is concerned, we are down quite a bit, 27.7% by the month. By the 5-day, down 12.63%. By the 6 months, we're still up quite a bit as far as the 6 months, but I haven't held Gevo for 6 months. So we have been lost quite a bit. And as far as Hyliion, 5% by the day, by the 5-day to 7.3% loss. By the month, we're down 18.5%. 6 months, yeah, we've lost about 30% of its value by the 6 months. Now, Revolve, we're down quite a bit by the day and by the 5-day. But by the month, we're still doing pretty well. And by the 6 months, we're still doing pretty well. Now, spoiler alert, I am not worried about Revolve one bit. Like, Revolve is a revenue-generating, profit-generating powerhouse. So I am not even worried about this at all. So I am not even going to consider this. But what I would normally do is, if a stock's down that much, I would just go through Google News, and that's perfectly fine. Just type in the name in the Google News and see what's going on. If there's anything at all that affects the business, that affects a business itself. So stuff like this, it's time to watch a fully electric threat for Hyliion. That's just opinion pieces. I don't really care about that. That we know, but that's a month old. Expanding headquarters, but nothing really recently except for opinions, which I don't really care about. Now, Hyliion did join the Russell 3000, so that is exciting, but that's not what the fundamentals of the business itself. Same for Gevo. I do the same thing here. Again, opinion pieces. Now, this is a positive opinion piece, but I don't care. This is short-term stuff. I don't really care about that. Negative. I made a video covering this, but I also don't care about that. That doesn't influence my buying or selling position as far as the stock. What I am looking for is stuff that the business does, that affects the business itself. And so far, nothing has. I mean, looking through Revolve, nothing happened recently that would, you know, explain the drop in price. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned with these stocks, whatever happened is probably with the macroeconomic environment. Now, I could do some more research and figure out what exactly happened in the macroeconomic environment, but ultimately, I don't really care because it's not affecting the business itself. Now, once I'm convinced that nothing happened as far as the fundamentals of the business, now I also checked Twitter and I didn't find anything involving either of these businesses that would, you know, explain a drop. I'm good. As far as I'm concerned, the reason these prices dropped this much is so I could buy more of them. Now, will I buy more of them? Gevo? Probably. But I'm going to wait until Gevo drops below $6 before I buy some more. Hyliion? Now, as far as these shares, I'm comfortable with the number of shares I have for both these companies. And with Revolve. Now, if Revolve drops to $13 for some cataclysmic reason, I will buy more. But I'm not buying more where I am now. I'm comfortable with my position in Revolve, with Gevo, and with Hyliion. If Gevo drops below 6, I will add some more shares. Hyliion, I gotta wait a little bit. It's a company I do believe in very strongly as far as the next year. I've seen a lot of interest in their hybrid and stuff. Like, I gotta see some revenue before I'm fully 100% sold on Hyliion. Now, I've checked the news recently. I've checked the news over the past year or so. I didn't really like their last earnings report. That is no secret. But I didn't really see anything that would indicate, you know, customers not being interested. Like, for example, Agility pre-ordered 1,000 of the Hypertruck ERXs once they come out next year. That's positive. I saw a lot of positive customer sentiment involving their hybrids. And I didn't see anything involving Hyliion being delayed or anything like that as far as their hybrids going commercial or their ERX going commercial next year. I haven't seen any delays. I'm perfectly happy with them. I do like their business model. I like to move towards renewable energy, using renewable natural gas. Before I add any more shares to Hyliion, even with me down this much, I gotta see a little revenue. I just gotta see somewhere before I'm fully sold. And I will say this, the raise in stock price when Gevo went from $6 to $9, I think a month or two ago, and when Hyliion went from, I think, 8 to, I think as high as 12 or 13, you know, before it dropped back down. Now, there wasn't a whole lot of news to back that up either. Now, I think Gevo had a pretty good earnings report. Hyliion, not really the best, but Gevo had a really good earnings report. Not as far as financial, but as far as hope for the future, yeah, that was pretty good. But other than that, I didn't really see anything that would warrant a 30% rise in price for Gevo. So I wasn't too concerned about that in the short term either. Now, don't get me wrong, I was happy to see it because that means money down the road, but short-term stuff like that, wasn't too worried about it, and I'm not too worried about this either. So I will say this in closing. Now, we don't know if this is going to continue, if this is going to be the bottom, or if there's more bottom to go through. We have no idea. This could keep happening to all of our stocks here. This could keep going down, even if we'll call them institution stocks, the S&P 500 stocks keep going up. Like, this could still happen. But as long as the fundamentals of the business don't change, you shouldn't be concerned. And as a matter of fact, if your favorite stock drops and you still believe in it, it might be worth buying that dip. But anyways, take care, have a great day, and eat your vegetables.